Co-production between theaters within one city in Ukraine is a rare phenomenon. Only a few theater performances of such kind were carried out in Ukraine. However, joint theater performances between different cities have not been practiced yet. The following discussion focuses on theatrical know-how and innovation in this sphere in Ukraine, namely, a play in co-production. The premiere of the play titled Glory to the Heroes has caused a stir among the audience in Kyiv and Ivano-Frankivsk. This is a joint project of two successful theater companies. By this example, it becomes clear that such projects can be staged in Ukraine. The initiators of the project of co-production are actress Irma Vitovska and art directors of theaters in Kyiv and Ivano-Frankivsk, Stanislav Zhirkov and Rostislav Derzhipylsky. They decided to unite their efforts to work on a play based on the work of well-known young Ukrainian playwright Pavlo Arye, who lives between Lviv and Berlin. The script that I wrote is dear to my heart. When the director of the Golden Gate Theatre worked with my script, I was impressed. I want to congratulate Ukrainian theatre for the fact that we have such a professional director who has good taste and a thorough sense of time. We have formed a small team. I find it interesting to work with these people. I'm not afraid of beginning, and I want to continue to move forward. Because if we will stop this initiative, and we will stop looking for new ideas, the question arises, why have we started this?
В «Сталкерах» и в «Славе героям» это проблема там нации, грубо говоря. Но она, понимаете, невозможно.
We do not want to show theatrical heroes in Cossack attire. We reveal the theme of the nation through the prism of two people or one person. The plays Stalkers and Glory to the Heroes reveal the theme of the nation. I emphasize that these performances are both comic and tragic. We want the audience to live through all these transformations together with us.
До трагедии. И вот этот путь мы хотим, чтобы зрители прошли вместе с нами.
Unfortunately, this theme is once again becoming real time. My grandfather was a fighter in the Ukrainian insurgent army and a proponent of Stepan Bandera. To stage such a play requires not straightforward propaganda of the ideas of Bandera, but their thoughtful interpretation to avoid the primitive division of rivals into good and bad. We were conducting the staging of the play The Nation in the Donbas region. We feared to perform the play about Bandera's followers to the local youth. We showed the lives, problems and sufferings that people faced in the 1940s. Art possesses a very powerful force, and actors have become convinced of this with their own eyes. When we were in Severodonetsk, a battalion commander from Ivano-Frankivsk said, "You know, I cannot make people love me, but with the help of your art, you convey thoughts directly into the souls and hearts of people. They start to understand this in another way. Other dozens of years much evil has been done to separate Western and Eastern Ukraine. Now we can watch our performance." According to project initiators, this play calls for reconciliation and dialogue and urges people to try, if not to accept opponents' views, at least to understand them. This is a story of two veterans, veteran of the Ukrainian insurgent army and veteran of the Second World War, who met by fate in one hospital ward.
Вас попрошу остаться! Вы сегодня первый! Занимать позицию!
Сколько зарядил?
Фавтил! Два внутримен! Шнель, шнель, шнель! Хэнда хох! Класс, класс! Нравится? Я для вас сегодня в ординаторской целое утро репетировала. Ну что вы смотрите на меня? Давайте, ложитесь, сейчас будем колоть. Давайте, давайте. Давайте. Приготовились? На старт! Внимание! Марш!
A whole galaxy of actors from several theaters were involved in this play. Actors Vitalina Bibliev, Irina Tkachenko, and merited artist Serhiy Kyashko from the Golden Gates Theater, as well as actors of the Ivan Franko Theater, Ksenia Basha, Dmitro Rybalevsky, and Alexei Ignatovsky.
Москалі, тікайте! Бандери всі вперед! Оля! Оля! Оленька!
The project is unique thanks to two actors who perform main roles without understudy actors. These are Alexei Ignatovsky and Dmitro Rybalevsky. These actors always perform in Kyiv and Ivano-Frankivsk with local actors rather than with understudies.
Радушная, прекрасная атмосфера, все прекрасные актеры. У Ростика.
The atmosphere in the theater is perfect, and all actors are good professionals. Rostislav has his own class of students who work in our theater. They are very talented.
Его уже актеры, которые работают непосредственно в театре, прекрасные, талантливые.
For young actors with some experience, these roles are not so easy, as they require from actors greater responsibility.
Честно говоря, физические испытания и.
This is a big test. Frankly speaking, these tests are both physical and psychological. After a performance, I feel physically exhausted, playing the role of an old man that demands special efforts in mimicry and a lot of time for rehearsals. I need to live through events happening in life of my hero. It is quite a good school for an actor.
Хорошая практика для актера.
Тут є дуже така тонка межа між такою крайньою ексцентрикою, так?
There is a very thin borderline between extreme eccentricity and drama in this play. So it is very interesting as an actor to perform and stay within one's extreme limits throughout the entire performance. Personally, in this role from the beginning to end, there are several such extreme situations. From idiosyncratic eccentricity and even the grotesque, I would go as far as to call it buffoonery, to drama or tragedy.
Это есть моя, не хочу говорить банальными фразами, работа. Это не работа, это то, во что я верю.
I receive great satisfaction from this. In other words, it is my thing, but it is not my job. To perform, you need to earnestly believe in what you are doing on stage. Every actor feels doubts, and I speak for myself. Can I do it? Am I worthy of it? Will I succeed without faking it? And will I not give in to any temptations? It is always a challenge to oneself and always a territory that one must strive to penetrate.
Це завжди провокація себе, і це завжди територія, куди завжди хочеться зайти.
The subject of a play is without a doubt difficult and slippery. Any inaccuracies in interpretation, approximation, or historical negligence are impermissible. It was very helpful to have access to archives of documents of the Ukrainian Institute of National Memory. It was the first experience of our cooperation with the theater. I believe that this performance with such wonderful art methods will highlight the causes of the events currently ongoing in Ukraine. Unfortunately, many people abroad still remain in captivity of Soviet propaganda stereotypes. They are ignorant of real facts of Ukrainian history and do not have a clear understanding of what is happening in Ukraine. Any co-production experiment is accompanied with risk. In case of Glory to the Heroes, it was a double risk. The question was raised whether it will be understood and appreciated by the audience. It is important for us to make the audience understand correctly what we wish to tell people, to make them believe we did not exploit the current political situation in Ukraine. Stage producer Stas Zhirkov has his own style and special humor that verges on tragedy and is not that easy for people to understand.
Юмор, который граничит с трагедией.
Є теми цікаві, є теми не цікаві для.
There are interesting topics that incite the interest of the audience and those that leave the audience totally indifferent. There are talented stage productions and there are talentless ones. Judging by the fact that each performances of this play are sellout, we can well expect a growing interest in this play. The main trick of a stage producer is to focus on the problem and make people sitting in the hall make their own decision as to how such a problem can be solved. We have been taught to believe this issue was too difficult and painful to tackle. Why was it considered to be so difficult? Because the scale of values was distorted. I was long expecting this play to be staged. This topic is very pressing today. It is about people who fought for our motherland, but they were on opposite sides of the front line. The topic is quite serious. Would it be possible for the authors to find the right balance and win over an audience that would applaud the talent and professionalism of the performers? Of course, surrealistic theaters will be present in this play. You can always feel some nerve in his stage productions. The main thing is to find the correct way to express it and make it well motivated. A play demonstrates that our world is not black and white and that it cannot be easily divided into heroes and traitors. I believe the young people will find the plot in terms of its content, its presentation and performance very interesting. I have not seen this production of Stas Zhirkov, but I have seen other works of this talented producer, and I expect this new production will be very interesting. A certain aesthetic strand has probably formed in this theater, and we can see there is a demand for this kind of theater in society. As for the nomenclature, actors and stage producers, it should take heed of the audience and experts' opinion to meet and satisfy the needs and demands of society. Co-production projects do not require some laws of a global scale. All state authorities need to do is help theaters by cooperating, instead of putting up bureaucratic obstacles to their work through government decrees and decisions. Is this form of realization of creative ideas by two different theaters one of the ways to realize the long-expected reform of Ukrainian theater? Zhirkov and Derzhipilsky strive in their creative searches to find such a way of developing Ukrainian theater. The future of theater lies in co-production. We shouldn't stop. If actors do not develop their degrade, we need to seek new ways of cooperation. I think that PR is also necessary for the development of theater. It is easier for cinematography and television to use co-production methods. It is a very interesting method and a way to exchange creative energy for theaters as well. The exchange of creative ideas and artistic potential can result in talented stage productions to make the theater's life of Ukraine even more interesting. I believe that such an approach of cooperation enables the exchange of energies, and when creative people share their energies between each other, there is an explosive result. Theater is a closed enough structure. Actors and stage producers are limited to work within a theater structure only, and to go beyond, it is very difficult for any actor or for other artists working here. And such co-production is a good opportunity for them to exchange experience and understand what is happening around them. Reform means change, and change in turn means something new. In this case, we can observe two new tendencies that are realized by this theater crew. The first one is making of a theater performance in the form of a stage production. The second one is co-production of different theaters and theater troupes. They are successful in doing this and show that it is profitable, effective and talented, and that this is where the future lies. A theater premiere is a big event, an opportunity to talk about the successes of theater, as well as its problems. Ukrainian theater is one step closer to European stage production theater, which also needs talented Ukrainian artists and directors. I think the plays Stalker, Oscar and Glory to the Heroes are to be continued. International co-production will be a continuation of this project. Director Stanislav Zhirkov was invited to Germany to stage the play Stalkers on the stage of the Magdeburg Theater. Germans showed interest not only in the Ukrainian play. They would like to invite the Ukrainian playwright and producer to make a stage production of the play. They invited Stanislav not only with my scenario, but also to do the stage production made by him in Ukraine. They want to see his own stage production, his artistic manner and his interpretation. They are interested not only in the subject of the play, but also in his creative manner as a stage producer. This is a great success. Creativity comes to the fore. It is very inspiring.
Это абсолютное приглашение на равных, и я это чувствую по тому общению.
I do not know whether this visit will be beneficial and helpful for the development of Ukrainian theater, but I will most definitely try to promote it abroad.
Интересы Украины — это 100%.